What is up, everybody? Sorry it's been so long since I made a video. I was supposed to get ready for deployment, but that never happened. So anyway, I'll explain more about that later. So this video will be about still Armory basic training, combat training, but this one will be about the blue phase that you enter, which starts at I think around week 10, depending on you guys' behavior or whatever else your drill sergeants think. That's when I about started mine, was about week 10. So blue phase, you get, I wouldn't say a little bit more freedom, but your drill sergeants allow you to do more on your own. We got more, but we did get more free time to write letters home. We got a little bit more time to do laundry, a little bit more sit down, relax time. And we also did get our cell phones every, I think, Sunday for maybe an hour or two, depending on what we had going on. But my favorite part about Blue Phase was the U.S. weapons training, and that's where we got a bunch of classes and hands-on training with different kinds of weapons that the Army uses. Just about, every MOS will use these. We got a lot of training, and we did get to shoot the 240 Bravo, the M249, the M203, and we got training on the AT4, but we did not get to shoot it. But it was cold day when we actually went out and shot it, because this was in Fort Sill. It was still wintertime, I guess, and it was still ridiculously cold when we went out and shot, but it was a lot of fun. We got, I think, about 50 rounds in the 240 Bravo, and we got 100 rounds in the M249, and we had about, I think, 5 or 10 rounds, practice rounds, the M203, and like I said, it was just too dry for us to actually go out and shoot the AT4, which is an anti-tank rocket, I guess you would say, and it would just light a bunch of fires. Also, another thing, some people got to do this in white phase, some did it in blue phase, was hand grenade training, and this was a lot of fun. We go through a lot of practice grenades, which is just like a grenade with a fuse, but no, I guess it's explosives inside of it, so you just pull the pin, you throw it, and it makes a pop sound, and that's about it. But we did lots of training before you actually go out and throw your real hand grenades. And this is where they find out if you're a weak thrower. They have to write it on you just to be careful, like, hey, this guy doesn't know how to throw, so keep an eye on him. But that was a lot of fun, going out and throwing a live hand grenade. It's about the size of a baseball, but the punch it packs is just insane, and it was just a lot of fun, real intimidating, but it's kind of one of those trainings that just kind of motivates you for a lot of other things. And another big thing we did in Blue Phase was we did the 10K road march, and this is the big, I guess, thing you have to do for graduating, and it's just a 10K ruck march, but we actually did it with a salt pack, which is a little bit smaller pack than a ruck. And I mean, if you're in any good physical shape, you're walking 10 kilometers. It's not anything I was ever worried about. This is probably one of the easiest, but a lot of people struggled because now, for some reason in Fort Sill, it was decided to be a hot day, and we actually ended up doing it at night, so it was a hot night. And you pretty much just do 10K without little break, and every once in a while you just have to stop and use the bathroom, and that was about it. There were a lot of issues with people saying, they just can't make it, their feet hurt, you'll hear everything if you do end up going or you have been. And even when we finished, we had probably 3 people just pass out, which is kind of embarrassing. I mean, come on, guys, it's only 10K. If you can't do a 10K walk, then you're just going to struggle for the rest of your career in the Army. But once we finished, we had kind of like a little ceremony, because this was the major last thing we had to do, besides the PT test. This was the last major thing we had to do before we graduated. And it was, to me, I had a good time. It was at night. It was a pretty cool walk. So another big thing you have to do before you graduate is the APFT, which is Army Physical Training Test, I guess it is. I'm not too sure with the acronyms. But that is just where you have to do push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile runs. And you only have to score, in basic, you only have to score a 50 in each event. But if you only get a 50, you're going to struggle, because in AIT and the rest of your time in the Army, you have to get a 60 or above. Basic is only a 50 or above, but still, this will break off a few people. And I'm not sure on the actual what you have to get in each event. You can all look it up and it has everything for you. But this is just your push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile run. And it's all regulated and they tell you everything you have to do about it. And again, this shouldn't be an issue for you because now you are been in basic for about 10 weeks, so you would be able to do a lot of push-ups by now. Even if you joined and you couldn't do one, you should easily be able to pass for the amount of push-ups and sit-ups you'll be doing throughout basic training. And also, one more thing we did in Blue Phase was we got our ASUs, which is the dress uniforms that you see people wearing. And this was pretty fun to do because it's just, for once, you're not doing some hardcore training or stuff like that. You actually had to go back to where you got your uniforms from. You go there and they measure you, and you get all the really cool junk that you get to wear. And the reason they do this very last is because it makes sense, because a lot of people actually lose a lot of weight throughout their basic training, so they wait till you're done to measure you up, because everything's fitted perfectly to your body, and even though it's fitted, it's still very, very tight, and I hate ASUs, but you get them and then you have to go dry clean them, and you have to spend a lot of time to get every little fuzzball off them and every little hair off of it. But this is where you basically learn also the ASU uniform and where medals go. You have basically no medals when you get into basic or graduate, which you'll be wearing this when you do graduate. So you put on the little medals you do have, and that's about it. Also, is we started practicing for graduation, because there's a big graduation ceremony for the end of your basic training. And this we practiced for days and days in the hot sun, because I don't know, Fort still has its hot days and it could be cold the next day, but luckily, well, I shouldn't say luckily, it was hot and you were bald, so of course my head got massively sunburnt. But we just practiced and practiced and practiced, and then finally we had graduation day, and we wore ASUs and saw our family and all that stuff. And then once you see your family, they usually release us, which we had for family day. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't graduation, it was family day, where you first see your family. And this is where we're in our dress uniforms, and we pretty much had some little show we gave them about all the stuff we learned. And then after that, we get released to go with our families, and we get to hang out with our families for a few hours. And it was nice to see your family again and hang out for a while. Then the very next day was our graduation with a big ceremony in the theater, and you had to go up there, say your name, where you're from, and then had a little bit of a ceremony. Then right after that, you were off to AIT, which I will explain about more in my next video. So if you like these videos and you want to learn more, I will keep making more videos as I go to where I'm at now. So thanks for watching, subscribe if you like them, and see you later.